ScoreNorth.com.
I'll have to say after that first start against Tennessee, when I had my first touchdown, 175 yards, 7 catches. I feel like after that week, I feel like it was going to be a good connection between me and him. And then from there on, we just started getting better and better. We started working with each other more. And, it showed on the field by having 1,400 yards.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson getting some national pub yesterday on the Herd with Colin Cowherd. But then he said a couple things that might have ruffled a couple feathers. People got a little worked up about. And we're going to get into those later in the show here on Purple Daily with Mackie, Judd, and our executive producer in all caps lock, executive producer Declan Goff.
Thank you.
Presented by TCL. Enjoy more of what you love with TCL. Purple Daily, this is a big day for us here, boys. So we're giving you the Write That Down episode that you all crave and deserve on these Wednesdays, just us whiffing on predictions left and right. But then later tonight, we'll give you a live unveiling of the Vikings schedule on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, click that subscribe button and also click the like button on the video here. And if you listen in audio form, Apple, Spotify, ScoreNorth.com. If you're on the go, you can always check us out in your car on the Score North app. All sorts of stuff coming at you from a Vikings perspective every single day. But how are you guys? Are you guys excited for? We're already getting some.
Yeah.
We know the Vikings play the Bengals week 1. That's already out there. It sounds like they might play a Thanksgiving game. So exciting times here, boys.
Yeah, I don't see why people don't enjoy this. Like, I think it's genius. The schedule released, despite knowing the opponents and where they're going to play as far as like the dates go and times and stuff, I just think it's fun.
It's a
like
blast.
I don't see like it's not it doesn't take a long time. So like the draft can drag on, right? Like the schedule released to me is just the perfect pop. There's the schedule. Yeah, it's in prime time. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think I know that Judd put out his mock schedule yesterday, and we did it on Mackie and Judd. And like, mock schedules are stupid. Okay, fun police.
Yeah, God, people.
Well, and they are, but I mean, that's the point. But like a lot of sports stuff is stupid. That's what makes it, but it's fun.
I know. So, all right. So we'll get into the Justin Jefferson comments tonight. We're going to rock the live unveiling of the schedule. But let's dive into it here, boys. Write that down.
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions.
Write this down.
And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Write that down.
It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
All right, boys. Write that down here on Purple Daily. And you can find 2 versions of this brand, if you will. Write that down. We've expanded the brand. It's been part of Mackie and Judd for a number of years. We've brought a football-centric version of it to Purple Daily. So every Wednesday, if you want all of our predictions, a lot of them are wrong. We hold each other accountable. It's really the most revolutionary segment in all of sports entertainment. So 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to be part of it, like Alex and Kyle are about to be, just send a DM to me on Twitter or Instagram, at Phil Mackey, or Declan, at Dex's Tweets, and _Dexter on Twitter. So, boys, we had a ton of stuff come off the board last week because it was all of the draft predictions. We have there's a couple offseason predictions that are going to come off the board maybe a week late here as we dug through the pile. But let's start with Judd Zulgad. You had 2 things come off the board. You said Teddy Bridgewater will return to the Saints this offseason. I guess technically it could still happen, but he was already traded.
No. Yep.
Seems unlikely. Okay.
Denver.
Great quarterback room in Denver. Big time quarterback room.
So much great quarterback play. Locke, Bridgewater. You also said Todd McShay will mock a defensive player to the Vikings in his way too early 2022 mock draft. He did. Edge rusher. Can't remember who, but an edge rusher from somewhere. I think Purdue. Maybe Purdue?
It doesn't matter.
No. All right. I had a couple things come off the board. I said Deshaun Watson will be traded to the 49ers this offseason. I think that seems
that whole thing is
it's just gone quiet.
unknown.
Then I said Todd McShay's first 2022 mock will have Tanner Morgan as a first-round quarterback. Must have just missed.
Must have just missed.
After Mitch Leidner, he said, I will never have a gopher in the first round again.
Listeners had nothing come off the board. Declan, you said the Vikings will have reported interest in Melvin Ingram by a credible source. I scoured the internet all throughout the offseason. Didn't see anything there with Melvin Ingram. So
Happens.
yeah, you throw the ball down the field. Sometimes it's incomplete, or in our case, most of the time it's incomplete.
I was gonna say.
Judd leading the pack here with a 42% completion percentage, no touchdowns. Declan, 31% completions, no touchdowns. I'm at 26%. I am throwing blindfolded, but I have great receivers because I have 4 touchdowns on the season.
You go, Terry Bradshaw.
Listeners, 11% completions and 1 touchdown on the year. So that's where we stand here after the accountability session. Let's pack the room here. Let's get Alex. Let's get Kyle. We've got 2 guest listener predictors on the show this week. Alex, we'll start with you here for a second. What's going on, man? Are you feeling confident taking the snap here on behalf of the listeners?
I think it's 3rd and 13, and we're doing a 5-yard check down on some of mine. And then the other one might be a touchdown. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys decide.
All right. You might have to make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. We'll see. All right, Kyle, what about you? What's your strategy today?
Oh, man, that 11% is just not working out for me. I don't think I'm even going to throw the ball 5 yards down the field. So we're going straight lateral or directly, wide receiver screen.
Love it.
I like it.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. We're going to start with Alex. Then we're going to go to Kyle, Judd, Declan, back to me, Phil. Predictions must be quantifiable. They must at least loosely involve football in some roundabout way, or they can just be an all-out football prediction. So let's do it. Alex, the snap is yours, sir.
Well, I know the schedule releases today, and I know we know the first week, so I wanted to get this in case anything breaks while we're on the air. The Vikings will play at least 2 primetime games.
Okay. I think that's a fair bet. I think they're going to play a lot more than 2. But you know what? The listeners need some completions here. And so
yeah, that's why I said only 2.
Yeah, I'm here. And so you said at least 2, right? At least 2?
No less than 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just want to be clear there. All right, over to Kyle. Your first prediction.
Awesome. So on a previous appearance on this show, I brought you the stat that the Vikings are one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to coin toss percentage. I believe they're currently second worst in the league behind the Texans. I'm walking up to the roulette table. We're seeing that it's been black several times in a row, so we're going red. The Vikings are going to win the coin toss in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium.
Love it, dude. Love it, man. I wonder what the science is behind that. Are they just the unluckiest team in the NFL, or do they have a bad way of predicting the coin toss?
Write this down.
We need our analytics guy to figure
Well,
this
it is
out.
a Minnesota sports team, so the unlucky part may be true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, Judd, your first prediction.
Exactly. All right. Week 1, it is, as we just talked about the Vikings and the Bengals, I'm going to give you 3 parts to this prediction. In week 1, the Vikings will beat the Bengals.
Okay.
In that game, Justin Jefferson will catch a touchdown, and Dalvin Cook will run for a touchdown.
Wow.
Week 1, win. Jefferson catches a touchdown. Dalvin Cook rushes for a touchdown.
This is where write that down can get a little dangerous with specificity, because if the Vikings win and JJ scores a touchdown through the air and Dalvin catches a screen pass and goes 50 yards to the house, Judd is wrong, because it will have been a catch for
correct.
Dalvin.
But I am going with the predictability that Cook will be handed the ball far more than he will catch the ball.
Okay.
Write this down.
Fair. Okay. Declan Goff.
All right. All 3 of mine are NFL schedule release related as well. And I know we had the Bengals. There are rumors and leaks that are coming out, but until the actual pen to paper, it's official. I think these predictions are all fair game. So you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong.
You've seen the leak.
There's literally a leak schedule out there that's been, and now 2 games are verified on the leak schedule. So
I have not seen the leak. I have not seen the leak schedule. I purposely have avoided the leak of the schedule. Okay. So I'll just say this. You let me know if this is unfair, but my first, write that down. The Vikings' first home game will be against an NFC North team.
Okay.
The Vikings' first home game will be against an NFC North team.
I'm just looking back at our text thread from yesterday. I don't think Judd, did you send this on our text thread?
He sent something about, you guys, I think it was this morning actually, that the leak could be somewhat correct.
I
After
don't know,
the
how do you
Bengals
feel about
prediction.
this, Judd? How do you feel about this? He's making predictions. We have a leak schedule out. I'm just
you know what? I believe he just verified that he has not seen it though.
I have not seen it.
With that prediction.
I have
I
not
was
seen
trying to
it.
find
So
it.
so no, they're no. I say we allow it.
Okay.
Write this down.
All right. I just taking the temperature of the room. All right. Write this down. Actually, this is a prediction about Judd. So, Judd, can I have you take your headphones off for a second?
Sure. Hold on.
Go see Stella.
Hold on.
Go see that lawnmower.
Hold on.
Go get that lawnmower. Yep.
Stella, come here.
Okay, before he comes back here. All right. So when the schedule comes out, we're gonna go through and pick the Vikings wins and losses again. So Judd on the mock schedule had 10-7. Judd will find a way to add an extra win to the Vikings win total when we pick the schedule this week. So he will say 11 wins exactly. 11 wins exactly for the Vikings when he predicts the schedule next. Write that down.
Got it.
Write this down.
Is that a home? Is that a touchdown? If I get the exact, it's the exact. I'm giving you the
because you're saying exact
total.
You're doing the exact. So yes, I would say that's a touchdown. Yes.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yep, you're good. You can come back.
Write this
Come on
down.
back. Okay, cool.
Come on back.
All right, back to Alex in Texas.
I'll wait for Judd to get his headphones on here.
All right. Thank you. I'm ready.
The Vikings will sign at least one veteran free agent before the start of the season. So before week 1, so it could be after the preseason. Before week 1 of the regular season, the Vikings will sign at least one more veteran free agent.
How are we defining veteran?
More than 2 years NFL experience.
Okay, that's fair. I think we had a similar. Declan was doing that with wide receivers, so we said kind of the same thing.
Exact same.
D.D. Westbrook would fall into that.
Write
Kind
this down.
All right, Kyle,
Kerrigan.
back to you.
All right, hopefully this is possibly the easiest layup in write that down history. Tim Tebow will not be on the Jaguars roster on week 1.
Oh man.
You stole my third one. Darn it.
I don't know,
Come up
man.
with a new third one.
Sorry about that, Judd.
I'm assuming that he's
agree.
done with the Mets organization. He's not playing baseball anymore.
Yeah, he's done with baseball.
Did they
Off to
cut him or did he
basketball.
quit?
He retired from baseball.
Retired.
Dude, he's like 32, isn't he?
and he
Yeah,
was
because
just
he was
terrible.
told he sucked.
Yeah.
But can't
Such
he
a
make way more money just being a public speaker and like a talking head on ESPN?
Urban loves him though.
Yeah, but isn't it like wouldn't he get
I
paid
think
like
that's why.
7 figures to just be on ESPN all the time? He's not going to make 7 figures with the Jaguars.
I
is he?
don't.
Write it down. You like
I don't
writing
know.
things down.
I'm so tired of Tim
I'm
Tebow.
so done with Tim Tebow. Yes, I seriously do.
I'm done with
I
it all.
can't stand it.
I think we're back to Judd here.
All right. The Vikings will finish top 10 this season in scoring defense. They were 29th last year, Declan. They will be top 10 in the NFL this season in scoring defense, average points per game.
All righty.
Write it down.
They
You
better
like
be.
writing things
They
down.
better be after spending all those resources
Well-
on the defensive side of the ball. If they aren't, I think
Heard that.
There'll be
heads
changes.
are going to roll.
There will be changes.
Heads are going to roll. Back to Declan.
All right. The Vikings will have at least 3 primetime games on their initial schedule. So Alex, I believe, said 2, but I'm going to go with 3. So the Vikings will have initially 3 primetime games on their schedule.
Okay. All right.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. You know what? Since we're doing this, I would feel bad because I have seen a leaked version of this schedule, so I'm not going to make any schedule predictions.
So
but
you're
I'm
going to predict the whole thing.
So what I'm going to do is I'll give you this. In the primetime games that the Vikings play, whether there's 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, we're going to see positive results for the most part. And so I'm going to quantify it by saying that Mr. Game-winning drive, the dagger doctor, the fourth quarter pharaoh, Kirk Cousins, Kirky McClutcherton, will have at least 2 fourth quarter comebacks in primetime games, including playoffs. I'm going to give myself a full slate here. Wow. Kirk will have at least 2 game-winning drives, including playoffs, this season.
Wow.
Primetime game-winning drives.
Somebody's very
Write it
positive.
down.
Oh,
You
sorry.
like writing things down.
Fourth quarter comebacks. Fourth quarter
quarter
comebacks. Those are
comebacks.
2 different
Yep.
things.
Yes,
Fourth
they
quarter
are.
comebacks. Okay. All right. Over to Alex here. Your final prediction.
This is one I don't know if you guys want to say this is a home run or not. Kirk Cousins will throw less. He'll have, let me rephrase that. He'll have single digits in interceptions. Like he won't throw more than 9. So he'll throw 9 or less interceptions.
Yeah. I could see that.
Write this down.
I think he after the bye week last week, he sort of adopted all right, I don't want to be the guy that leads the league anymore, so I'm just going to
Yeah, but he
Stop
always
throwing
has those 2 or 3 weeks where it's Kirk, what are you doing?
interception machine. Yep. Alex, good work here. I like how you're trying to get that completion percentage up for the listeners. Since you have this life-changing platform right now on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you would like to thank that got you to this pinnacle point?
Well, I thanked my life last time, but she's not here. So, no, just I'd like to thank you guys for having an awesome format, letting us fans get a voice when most radio stations only let you get a small voice. You guys let us have a big voice. I really appreciate that. And I always enjoy the show, and I would love to be on anytime you guys need someone.
Right on, man. Alex, thanks for coming on, dude. We'll talk again soon.
Appreciate you, dude.
All right, that's Alex
Write this down.
in Texas. Kyle, your final prediction.
All right, so this might be an all-time hedge, but I do live in Denver, and I very much dislike the Broncos and Aaron Rodgers, so therefore I'm assuming he'll play here. So I have purchased the Moss Raiders, Mahomes Chiefs, and Rivers Chargers jersey just so I have something to wear if he's the starting quarterback for the Broncos. So that being said, in the Saints-Packers game on Week 1, Aaron Rodgers will not take the first snap from under center. So even if he still is the starting quarterback, the Saints could potentially get ball first. So all-time hedge there.
All right.
Does that work, or do you want me to adjust that at all?
Dex, what do you think?
Yeah, just say it one more time.
So I said in the Saints-Packers Week 1 game, Aaron Rodgers will not take the first snap from under center. So he could potentially still be on the roster and they not get the ball first. But if you guys think that's too conservative, we can just say he's not on the roster.
So basically you're saying if the Saints start the game with the ball, then you'd still win that prediction.
Correct.
I'm okay with that. Let's
Yeah.
just make sure we're specific with the language there so that he gets the point. I'm okay with that, Hedge. Listen, you guys have an 11% completion percentage.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's boost that thing up.
I'm with you.
All right, Kyle, who would you like to thank?
Awesome. You guys are the best. I've been listening since, the Christian Ponder, Leslie Frazier. We'll look at it on film. Everything's completely correctable. I think you guys are the most realistic voice on the Vikings, considering, unfortunately, it's a team that's never won the Super Bowl. And I appreciate how you guys actually, push them to actually have expectations and get us a Super Bowl before we all die. So you guys are the best.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you for jumping on. Kyle and Alex, great stuff from
Write this down.
those guys. Yeah, that is our mission statement on this show. If you can't handle the expectations, there's plenty of places you can go for just pure positivity.
This is true.
If you just want straight up positivity.
And why wouldn't
then-
you want a Super Bowl title? Why wouldn't you want that Lombardi trophy in your hands?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't blame you.
All right, I think we're back to Judd. Judd's kind of pixelating for me, so
Write it down. You like writing things down.
so hopefully we can get Judd's prediction.
Am I better now? How's that?
We'll get there.
All right.
I'll go with my final prediction here. The Vikings Thursday night game, because every team gets a Thursday night game. The Vikings Thursday night game will be against an NFC North team. The Vikings Thursday night football game will be against an NFC North team.
Okay.
So
Let me ask you, just, what if they have more than one Thursday night game? Just, in theory. So just
Vikings-
a Thursday night game?
Yeah. Well, look at you trying to help me out. Yes. The
What if
Vikings
one
will
of
have
the
a Thursday
Thursday-
night games. We'll have a Thursday night game against an NFC North team.
Okay.
The Vikings will have
Write it down. You like
a
writing things
Thursday
down.
night game against an NFC North team.
just hypothetical. I mean, it would be rare if a team played twice on Thursday, of course. But,
Right? No, it's possible, though. It's possible.
Okay, write this down. So I see a lot of people, Stefan Diggs chirping a little bit more about, thank God I'm not still in Minnesota on social media a couple weeks ago. And I saw some Buffalo Bills fans jumping into the Score North timeline on Twitter, chirping about Justin Jefferson and Stefan Diggs. Write this down. Justin Jefferson will have more receiving yards in 2021 regular season than Stefan Diggs. Justin Jefferson will have more receiving yards than Stefan Diggs.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Kaboom.
I like it.
All right. Judd is fixing his internet connection. And you know what? If I was Judd, I would probably need a little insurance for that bad internet connection. I don't know if Federated can help with that, but Federated can help your business with risk management and peace of mind. They've been around for over 100 years in the state of Minnesota. And Federated has been measuring the success of their business by the success of yours. They are attached to the hip with you in a good way, and they provide, like I said, 100+ years of expertise and a guiding hand. Find out more about how Federated can help your business at federatedinsurance.com. And remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours.
Write this down.
All right, should we see if Pixelated Judd is ready to make his final prediction? And if he's not, we'll just jump into the Justin Jefferson clips because those are going to be interesting too. All right, Judd. Oh, no.
We got some internet issues, I believe, with
All
Mr.
right.
Zolgad.
All right, so we'll see if we can get Judd back.
Here's what we'll do.
He will get a final prediction. He will get a final prediction.
So we go roll with Justin Jefferson.
Let's hear from it. Yeah, Justin Jefferson said some interesting things on Colin Cowherd's show yesterday that some people are sort of glumming onto as criticism of Kirk Cousins. So let's hear and we'll dissect ourselves.
Kirk and Joe throw similar balls. They're not the strongest arm, but they're going to get it to you exactly where you need it. You need them to throw it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about Joe that's a little bit different, Joe, I feel like Joe had that a little bit more swagger. You know, he has that confidence on the field. And, I mean, he's not scared to get hit. And I feel like as a quarterback, that's a big trait to have, especially to be as young as he is. And, you know, he's a phenomenal quarterback.
Okay.
It
Wow.
begins.
So that's definitely the first time that I read the comments. It's the first time I wanted to wait and just get a natural reaction here. So let's go through the checklist. So he rips, or I guess comments on how both Burrow and Cousins don't really have the strongest arm, but they're going to get it there. So I didn't take that as a huge rip. Just they're not throwing the ball missile, like other quarterbacks like Brett Favre in his prime, but they're going to get it there accuracy. So not much of a rip. The swagger thing is interesting. So Joe Burrow has swagger and confidence on the field, and that's the thing that's different between him and Kirk. All right. And then the part about not being afraid to get hit, I think is the big one, that if I'm Kirk Cousins and I hear that, maybe it's a cold dose of reality, but it's definitely a shot. How did you take those comments, Dex?
Yeah, it's hilarious to me because everyone rips Stephon Diggs, and look, there are things that Diggs deserves ridicule for with how he exited here. But if you are someone who has like basically this irrational hatred of Stephon Diggs, and you think he's a crybaby, and oh my God, I'm so glad now we got this steal in Justin Jefferson. I think Jefferson and Diggs are different personas, but this is eerily similar. Like this is a guy who literally just said, like, yeah, he has more. My college quarterback has more swagger, and you have to be able to take hits. Like that is the opposite of who Kirk Cousins is, and he's answering a direct question. Good for Colin Cowherd for asking him that question. But yes, it is. I don't think it's going to be Diggs 2.0, but there is very similarities between Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson.
So I think Jefferson comes off a little bit more fun-loving. Diggs is more of a drier. He's funny, but he's also more of a drier personality than Justin Jefferson. So I guess when I heard these clips, it certainly wasn't like, oh my God, there's a rift in the locker room, but you saw there was a game where Justin Jefferson chewed Kirk out very publicly. Can't remember what week it was, but there was a missed pass in the end zone, or Kirk rolled out to the left, and Jefferson yelled like, "Come on, Kirk! Like throw the ball!" And like it's an empty stadium, you could hear it. Yeah, whatever. Like doesn't mean that they're not on speaking terms or anything, but it was interesting that a rookie receiver in that moment would feel so emboldened with a veteran quarterback, a highly paid veteran quarterback, to air him out in front of everyone like that. I thought that was interesting. But then here's the big thing. This is just a small piece to this puzzle. Do you notice how you never really hear any of Kirk's teammates or coaches, former or current, heaping lavish praise on him? Like it's never like you never hear Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen go on like a 5-minute ode and tribute to how amazing Kirk is as a teammate, as a quarterback. It's almost like whenever they do praise him, they're doing it as an obligatory thing, right? Like, well, I don't want to like dump on the guy, so yeah, of course I'm going to praise him. Kyle Rudolph writes 2,000 words saying goodbye to his teammates in Minnesota and the fan base and doesn't mention Kirk, but he mentions like 40 other players and former staffers. I just think his teammates look at him and they think, yeah, he's talented and he's good and he's pretty accurate, but he's a little weird. He's not the greatest leader, and he's certainly not a guy that teammates gravitate toward, right? Like, just look at Washington, look at Minnesota. It's been 6 years, and he's just not the type of guy that teammates love going to war with, right? He's fine. He's a quarterback, but I just don't get that sense that there's a great connection and a die on the hill factor with Kirk and the way that his teammates think about him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because he gets paid a boatload of money and he doesn't rise up to those occasions, and so people look at him and saying like, well, I want to get paid, I want my money, and here's this guy who's good but not necessarily great, and he's making a crap ton of money against our salary cap, and how come I can't get paid to that extreme? So there's definitely a lacking of a leadership quality with him. Like, I think that's obviously just very clear. Like, he doesn't have that leader mantra that people gravitate towards. And even though Teddy Bridgewater was a flawed, people galvanized around him. And same with Case Keenum to that effect. Like, if people wanted to rally around Case Keenum and Teddy, I just don't get that vibe from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it's he's just kind of generic, right? I think people can kind of sense that I don't know. It's hard to explain in full, but you can sense it because we're not there behind the scenes all the time. But when Justin Jefferson comes out, and it's one thing to praise Joe Burrow because you love him from college, but to come out and draw some direct comparisons and talk about swagger and confidence being there for Joe but not for Kirk, and to literally say like Joe Burrow he's not afraid to get hit in a direct comparison to Kirk Cousins. It's interesting that if there was a higher respect, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that. Do I think the season is shipwrecked because of this? No, like they can still win games. Right. But I just wonder how far can you go if there's not that foxhole feeling that everybody has for Kirk. So
and then he had one other clip too, and this was when Colin Cowherd asked him about Justin Fields because the Vikings again had interest. We had Doogie on that. Courtney Cronin was all over that. So he asked him about the availability of Justin Fields, and was he surprised that if the Vikings could have possibly taken a quarterback like Fields as high as 10?
So were you surprised to hear the Vikings were interested in Justin Fields? Did that surprise you at all, the quarterback from Ohio State?
No. We have to build on, for after Kirk or whatever the case may be. But having Justin Fields brings a little bit more pressure to other teams by having, a dominant quarterback like he is.
All right. Now I might be reaching here, but I interpret that to say that he thinks Justin Fields is a dominant quarterback and that Kirk isn't. But that might be taking it a little too far.
Right. No, I hear you. It's definitely really, really strange. And I don't think it's going to blow up yet, but the fact they already have started this succession plan, Jefferson says these comments, like the writing's on the wall. Like I don't know if this Kirk is completely gone, but I think it's ending very soon. And
if you thought that Kirk was the bona fide guy, like if you respected Kirk, like if we were sitting here and we can talk about him because he's in the green room pixelated right now, but he can't talk back, so we can take this shot. If Declan and I were sitting there saying, "Listen, we got a plan for life after Judd." Judd's getting up there, and we just gotta look for that next guy. Like, wait a second, Judd feels like he's got 10 more years in the end. I mean, Kirk's not like ready to retire next year. Why wouldn't Kirk be the guy here long term? Why are you thinking about life after Kirk? Well, because maybe you don't trust that he's the guy. So, very interesting. Something interesting to keep an eye on. Right. Well, we'll have to get that prediction from Judd tomorrow, and dive into some reckless speculation, too, on Mackie and Judd, which you can find. That's our other daily show. Mackie and Judd podcast feed, Purple Daily YouTube channel, Score North YouTube channel, Purple Daily Mackie and Judd. You can also find Royce Unchained, The Scoop with Doogie, all of it available at scorenorth.com and the Score North app. And don't forget, tonight, live schedule release party here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Right when the schedule gets unveiled, we'll be here breaking it all down, probably making our wins and losses picks. So come hang out with us, tell a couple Vikings fan friends, and we'll see you guys in just a few hours.